So Warren Buffett, he's worth $164 billion. $164 billion is what I'm saying. His daughter asked him, can she get $41,000 to redo her kitchen to put a new high chair in for the baby? Oh. I'm saying it like this for a reason. $164 million. Your daughter come to you, Dad, can I get $41,000 to redo my kitchen to reset this high chair for the baby? What do you think he said to her?
What I think he said?
Yeah.
He ain't giving it to her.
Right. He said, you can go to the bank like everybody else do. And I said $164 billion, and he didn't want to give her $41,000. So some people might say, well, he was wrong because he got the money. Because $164 billion to him could be 4 cents. But $41,000 could be 4 cents, but to him it's $41,000.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we look at it from a standpoint of saying like, wow, that's nothing if I got $164 billion. Mm-hmm. So if I had $164 and my daughter came and asked me for $4 of the $164, here you go. Mm-hmm. You know, but he on some, well, I work for mine.
Yeah. It's the principle. I get it. No.
So how would you answer the question? Would you give it to him?
It's kind of mixed because I'm like, just to change a high chair, like, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Just for a high chair. Like, I need more reasoning behind that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that's just something you want to do for some
you can remodel the kitchen too.
You know, it just, why the kitchen need to be remodeled? Like, talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I need some answers.
At $164 billion.
I need some answers. I need some answers. That's just me.
Ooh, we about to be controversial in here today.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Man, I'm giving that money up.
Same.
I'm giving that money up, bro. Time. Mm-hmm. Time. Creating memories. If I have the capacity to change all of that and knowing the stripes, man, look, that paradigm with money, they playing with us. We ain't gonna never catch up. Mm-hmm. We never gonna catch up. So we gotta utilize the things that we know, which is our soul. That stuff that's in us, that make us happy, that makes us move different, that makes us so much more attractive. That's why everybody following us, despite us not having no money, is they see what we can do with nothing. And if I got it and I can, man, I'm coughing that money up. I'm coughing it up. $164 billion. How much is enough?
Well, that's true.
How much is enough,
man? But in his mindset, could he be thinking, I worked for this $164 billion.
Absolutely.
I worked for it. Absolutely. And I educated you on how to get this too. I know if he educating the masses the way that he does, I know he had to educate her. So why don't she have 41,000 if I got 164 billion? Then on top of that, in 1977, he gave all his children. I'm speaking 1977. Uh-huh. Somehow his father passed away and gave them an inheritance of $90,000. Uh-huh. This is back in 1977.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. 77. Uh-huh. So if you couldn't have flipped that 90,000 to this current day, whenever she asked the question. So now I'm questioning why you 41,000. I get where you at.
Yeah.
I get where you at because I think military people, we always want to overdo it for our kids because we feel like we owe them something. Right. But in the same breath, for you to have what you have right now, you stood on that and worked for it.
Right. Uh-huh.
You worked for it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No one gave you that. Uh-huh. You built brick for brick for brick and got to where you at today, to the point that say, you know what, I can go into a bank. If I need money, I know I can go into a bank and get whatever I want to get. If we continue to give it to our kids, they won't ever understand that they should be able to go to the bank and build that brick by brick by brick to get where I'm at today.
Because at the end of the day, it's a loaded question. You know,
it is.
It's a loaded question. Like we don't know all the scenarios behind it because
right,
at
we
the end
don't.
of the day,
that's just what I was giving.
She could have been asking for money after money after money. You know what I'm saying? And to just say, well, I'm gonna give it to her. It's just like, nah. You know, I'm gonna think more into it than that. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was the first time, okay, cool, got it. But just like Ty saying, you know, I didn't equip you with certain tools. You know what I'm saying? To go out, I taught you how to fish.
So we assume.
I didn't feed you. I taught you how to fish.
So we assume.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm thinking, my mindset is, okay, you got 164 billion. How much did you teach your kids really if your kid is asking for 41,000?
And you could have taught them everything.
Exactly.
And they just sat there and still just prefer to ask than to work.
So I think that there's some level of disconnect because, like, the apples don't fall far from the tree, right? It's,
No doubt.
if you providing good examples, and I have 3 of my own, and I know everybody got their own path, but I think that some people get so hyper fixated on money that they lose sight of stuff, and they think they're present, but they're truly not present.
Okay, so not mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you good.
But when a person go to jail, you're going to always hear in the courtroom, your mama didn't raise you like that. So this apple fall far from the tree, it's not always true. I know plenty of people.
Well, we got some bad apples.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as kids, we do have bad apples.
You know, it's just like, again, that's just my take
It's,
on
look,
it.
we only know all
There's
of it.
no right
Jay,
or
what
wrong
would you
answer.
do?
I would give it to him.
You would give it to
I
him?
would give it to him because I feel like I understand him working for it, but if I can make it a little easier for my kids, that's what I'm gonna do. So what's 41,000?
To
When I got
164 billion.
168 billion or whatever. Yeah, I would give it to him.
Juice, what you got?
Oh, you know I'm getting it to him, man. Because like I said, I grew up. I always take my past and what I do. So I grew up. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff. I had food stamps. I did all that kind of stuff. So if I got that much money, I'm probably going to give it to the kids. I had kids while I was in high school. So my mindset going to be a little bit different because I say, okay, we grinding together. We trying to make this thing happen together. So once they see that dad, man, he just handed that 41,000. That means they're gonna grind hard. They're gonna probably get it back to me because I'm telling my story. My story, they know my story because they heard my story 100 times coming from South Carolina to Virginia. How many times I went and got him? You know what I'm saying? So they say, okay, daddy, he's straight, he legit. I get handled the 41,000. They don't know how much money I really got. You know what I'm saying? Because I probably ain't shared that to them.
Right.
But I understand. I said y'all are taken care of if something happened to me. As long as they know that in their head, they say daddy got it. They're gonna probably keep passing that to generation to generation. So my thing is because I run deep, man. I go hard. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is gonna be different from other people because people are like, oh man, I ain't giving them that. They got to work for that. No, they already worked for it because I took them through something. Because I wasn't even prepared to even have them when I was growing up. So I already took them because they was already kind of less fortunate when they was growing up. So now I'm going to put something in their hand. And like you said, some people going to make bad mistakes. They're going to wake up and say, I'm drinking over here, I'm doing something. Right. But you learn. You know what I'm saying? You learn, you develop, you see what's going on. And I don't have no issue with it, especially with that amount of money. That's a lot of money, man.
That's a lot of money.
If I had that amount of money, everybody gonna be somebody. I'm gonna take care of a lot of people.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be a lot of people be like, man, OJ, he helped me out,
right.
And you ain't got to give it back to me, but I know where your heart is if you did give it back to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
okay,
the parable of the prodigal son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
That's what that is.
Yes.
So my question.
Yes.
is,
Yes, sir.
When I'm gonna take care of a lot of people,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And that's what we're gonna do. But when you notice the same people coming back all the time,
You got to teach them.
and it's just we already covered that. I taught you how to fish, but you don't want to go fishing.
All right, so back to the scenario.
You're back to
Back to the scenario. Like, we don't know the history.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a repeated behavior and she keep on, like, yeah, we going to make some adjustments. But I was just thinking, at this snapshot in this moment of time, I got 168
I understand what
bills.
you're saying.
But if it's that repetitive
I
behavior,
understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
It's just like, no, I'm gonna give it to her.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I took a minute and thought about it.
Yeah.
And that first answer ain't gonna be, yeah, like, here you go. You know, it's just like, nah, I need to know the surrounding circumstances. I'm not so quick to be like, yes.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's right,
give me
too.
the circumstances.
Right.
You know, so I can make the educated decision.
yeah.
All right, one more before we go deep into this real estate thing. We all got family members that will call us, text us, hey, can I get $50? Can I get $100? Can you help me pay this and help me pay that? We all been there. Would you, to this current day, two-part question, would you ask someone, I need to borrow something? You at your current life, I need to borrow. And we ain't coming to ask for no $50 or $100. If we asking for something, it got to be somewhere close to like maybe minimum starting at $2,000 because we might be in a crunch for something. $2,000. Who are you calling, or you going to the bank to get a loan?
I'm going to the bank. It's something about me, and I have had people call me and ask me for money, and I've always done it if I can.
Yeah.
But I think it's something about me. I don't think I'm able to ask anybody for anything. Number one, I don't know if I have anybody I can call and ask. So for me, I would probably call a friend first before I would ask a family member. But I wouldn't even do that. It's just a pride
You would
thing.
ask a friend that you serve with in the military first.
Before I would ask a family member for money. Absolutely.
And that's crazy how that happens.
But it's
But
true.
the family member knows, oh, hey, she got this, so I can reach out to her.
Yeah. But
Now,
you
some
know,
people told me that people would just hit their Cash App
and request money.
and request money.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, you can just jump out there.
My
can
daughter
ask
do it all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a
It's a
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
But again, if we had to ask someone for money, it would have to be someone that we serve with. And then
That
you
is
still
true.
hesitant on that. You like, you know what? Because whatever I need, if I got to borrow it from the money from someone, that means I don't need it.
Or maybe you do. Maybe your car broke down and you really, really need it. So you may
You'll go to the
actually
bank.
need it. I will go
This
to the
current
bank.
day.
This current day, I will go
You
to
gonna-
the bank.
you
I'm
gotta
going to go to the bank. I'm going to go to I don't know if it's a pride thing. I don't know if it's a military thing.
Yeah.
I think it's all of that. It's maybe feeling like I don't have anybody that I can ask without them being judgy or, you know, Jade looked like she got it together and she asking me for $2,000, you know. So for me, I'd rather just keep it to myself and just probably go to a bank.
Go to a bank.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let me touch on this. Y'all, I appreciate y'all being here.
Yes,
but
sir.
this is the reason why I wanted to create a space like this. So that we can have people that we can actually look to and say, when that time comes, I need, or even when you start dreaming, we put our dreams on hold because what we don't have now. The vision is clear to us, but we're not acting because I don't have the capital to do X, Y, Z. I don't have the resources. I don't have the people. When we start learning how to work together and put it together, we know how to convey, like, dream one, write out a plan to pursue that dream, and then have the resources we can execute a whole lot. So, like, I want us to create this space so that when we start having those dreams, those visions, and it's like, what's stopping us from getting it? We start writing out a plan. Oh, I need $2,000. We got to learn how to construct the language so it's that win-win, so that we can see this is the role that I can play in this. A, B, I got this plan, because I'll be honest, like, there's some people who I would give that $500 to, and I just know it's not coming back.
Oh, yeah, you'll give it up.
Yeah.
But you won't give it up.
Yeah, I'm going to give that up. But if
Yeah,
we like,
yeah.
yo, B, I need 500 because this how it's going to work for you, I'm interested to seeing it. And if more of us start saying, yo, I got five, now we got that 2,000. And now we not only, you know, have some invested interest, but now we have an incentive to watch you win. Now we can be your accountability partners. Now you feel like I gotta do it, and now that fire is lit under you for you to pursue that dream. So back to like the actual question, yeah, it's people in my family who I would still give the money up to, but I started to put some boundaries around it. And the big thing is like, okay, when you ask for this, I'm going to give it to you, but this is like just a cheap price to pay when you don't do what you say you're gonna do.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to lose more than what you stay in the game.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And making sure they understand that. So, yeah, it's people out here who they in debt, but they know they can't pick that phone up no more. And that's, you know, you got to start weighing them options. And that's how it goes back to how you teach people.
And see, and that's the thing too, because I probably would go to the bank too, right? And don't get me wrong, because of the way I answered the Warren Buffett question. I mean, it is people that I've given money to, and the reason why I've given it to them is because it's just like, you know, I sit there and I think about it, and it's like, yo, I'm blessed to be in a situation to be able to do that, you know, and not worry if it's coming back or not, you know. But I'm also taking into consideration the person on the other end of that phone call too. You know, and what I've witnessed with my own eyes, and, you know, the manner in which it's being questioned. You know what I'm saying? I take all that into consideration, but, you know, the fact that we are in a position, you know, I feel like we all are blessed, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, it'll come back, you know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah,
It'll come back.
Can I ask something?
Oh, man. Come
Hey,
on.
look, so this is crazy. I'm glad we asked this question, because if my mom might call me and ask me for money, you know what I'm saying? And she already know how I'm going to give it to her, most likely. But she already know she going to tell me the whole story of why she need that money.
Right.
Even though she ain't even got to tell me that story, because she know how I am.
Right.
Because I want to see how you going to elevate it. She said, oh, I need to put some up in my house, man. I need to get some, you know, some wood. She know, and I'm like, oh, man, that's okay. Then she'll say, man, need to get my HVAC, you know, looked at. So she already know. She could just ask me for $500. I'm probably going, I'm saying, Mom, what's going on? You know, I'm going to mess with her a little bit. But she already know how my mind is. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give it to her regardless. She can ask me for $5,000, $6,000. I'm probably some kind of way is going to get to her.
Right.
But she can have a whole scenario she already know how I think. She's like, okay, OJ he gonna probably ask me, okay, Mom, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because I know some other people might be dying there, and I want to make sure they ain't in the deal, you know, with it. You know what I'm saying? She know how, so she tells me, say, hey, OJ, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm gonna carry it out. And guess what? And you know, I set up with a savings account. She said, if you really need the money back, grab it out of my savings account. But right now, I just need it right now. You know what I'm saying? So she don't have, I got her savings account that she don't have a card. She can't get to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just trying to make her build some stuff up. So she know I just give it to her.
Yeah.
So like I said, I know, and to answer your question, if I had to call somebody, I'm probably going to call one of my Navy brothers or sisters to ask that question, because I feel like I'm comfortable with them. They say, OJ, hey, I got you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna finna put it on Facebook and say, well, look, I'm handing OJ $5,000. You know, I'm looking at like, yeah, he did give it to me. You know, I'm feel some type of way. So I'm calling there. I'm probably not going to the bank. I'm gonna ask the guy that I trust right now, because I'm not trying to pay no interest in anything. I'm just trying to pay that person back. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's why our family come and get that interest-free loan.
Yes.
It's always an interest-free loan.
Yeah.
And I always say, if I don't, you won't get it unless, if I have it to give you, I'm going to give it to you.
Yes.
But again, you got to tell me when you paying me back. Don't pay me back in increments. I didn't give it to you in increments.
Yes.
I give you the full amount. You know, if you say, well, no, I just need to give it back to you this week, then that, hold on to it.
Yeah, till you
and if you don't give it back, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just write that off. It's okay. But you can't call me back. You can't call me back.
Yes.
You know, because you still got the money that you're gonna give me back. It's still out there.
Yeah.
I still got some money out there hanging
It's still
out.
out there.
Yeah.
You know, but again, we in a blessed situation.
Yeah.
Because we always weren't like that. You know, especially as junior sailors, junior officers. You know, we just didn't have it like that. But over time, you know, and through examples, like, wow, I really got this amount of money in the bank, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I see it. You know, so it's a beautiful thing. But my mom always says, she said, I never seen a Brinks truck follow a funeral.
No.
Because you can't take it with you.
You can't take it with you.
They're going to spend it regardless.
Somebody gonna get it.
Somebody going to get it. So while you living, enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah. And, you know, do charitable donations as you see fit. You know, so, yeah. So this real estate thing, I work with Brandon this year on a home for me and my son. So much love to that. OJ, him and I working on one right now. It's a beautiful thing because I love real estate. This is my thing of what I call gambling. You know, I don't play. I play the lottery when it gets to $1 billion. You know, I buy 10 tickets, but I don't. This is my only way. Like I like, this is my thing of Monopoly. You know, because Monopoly is nothing but real estate. You know, I got into it when I was just made chief, and there's a guy who was a YN2 in my squadron, and he was doing it. He said, "Hey man, this is what I'm gonna do." He got his first house. When he got his first house, he actually started renting out rooms to sailors.
Wow.
You know, this is a second class, but this dude was always a little bit different. He had a rim shop down in Jacksonville, Florida, and he's still doing real estate to this day down in Jacksonville. You know, a lot of homes. So he the one that really got me into it back in 2000, and this had to be 2002, and I bought my first house in 2003. But I didn't know a lot about it, especially as a young sailor. Didn't know anything about it. But as I get around people that's my age and a little bit older, we talk about it a lot more. So my first step is, before I even go, how should I be educating myself? And how do I know how to select the right realtor? OJ, that question for you.
That's a great question, man. My thing is, you know, you ask friends first. A lot of people, you know, then they go on the internet and kind of Google and say, well, you know, who's the best one. But so say if you select one, I would sit down and do an interview with them. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, ask them questions, figure out what their background are, see if they know the laws and stuff, because the new laws just came out. Make sure they understand that. Make sure they understand the local market. Make sure, you know, loan programs and stuff like that. Ask them, do they, you know, if you got to sign an agreement, you know, make sure you read that agreement on what's going on. Make sure they explain that agreement to you.
It's a lot of paperwork.
It's a lot of paperwork. And a lot of people, I'm telling you, a lot of people, I have so many people just sign the paperwork. Yeah. If I send it to them, I say, look, man, if you got any questions, then give me a call or whatever, because they say, oh, OJ, just send it. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell them up front, hey, you'll be signed this how much I charge. You know, we can negotiate that or whatever, and then we can break it down if you really want to break it down, because I don't have nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send you emails. I'm gonna keep you updated. So you want to make sure this guy is a girl, whoever you dealing with is upfront with you, is not hiding from you. If you see this person hiding, they're not returning your phone call, they're not, updating you on what's going on, they're not telling you what's going on in the news or for us, what we trying to deal with right now, and telling which side, if you listing or buying, you got to make sure that person is 100% with you. You'll be able to tell, you'll feel the passion from that guy, that girl. You'll say, man, he's really into this, and he's not hiding from questions. You know what I'm saying?
The question is, like I'm listening to you, and we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah,
so you should be asking these questions.
You should be asking.
That's why he said talk to people.
Yeah,
talk to people that's been in it.
You're already talking to people, so if you listen to the news, you'll be able to see some of the stuff that's already out there. So if you ask some people, you can talk to me, and then you can go talk to Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can talk to her. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to about 4 or 5 people. If we ain't saying almost about the same thing, you need to ask that question, because all our stuff is kind of, we're in line with each other. Now, Brandon might be 1,000% higher than me. I might be, right here, but you can feel what I mean. OJ is not. I might not know it right then, but I'm gonna find that answer for you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just shun you off and say, man, no, don't worry about that. Let's go ahead and sign that. We got that. That's good. You know what I'm saying? If you have questions, if you have any kind of doubt in your mind that OJ is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, you better ask that question. Or you can always fire me, man. You can say, OJ, hey, I'm not messing with you, man, because you'll feel whoever you're dealing with. You can feel like if they really for you or not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can't be hiding. You can't. The buyer, the seller, stop hiding and stop being scared. Ask the question. Make that person earn that whatever 1%, 2%, or a dollar amount or whatever they're earning.
Because I remember back in, it had to be like 2003. I was in Pensacola, and I had a realtor, and to me, he was just not a good realtor. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm already working with a realtor, all right, let's just say I did do a talking and I got advised to go with this person, and that realtor could have been a good fit for that individual I asked, but not me. So how do I know if I have a bad realtor?
Why did you feel like he wasn't good?
Because I would ask him about certain properties, right? And he would give me no feedback, I would tell him the areas in Pensacola I wanted to live in, and when he would send me places to go look at, it wasn't in those areas, Like I ultimately found my own place, I know how to answer your question. I was just like, I didn't feel comfortable giving him his, commission. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I just felt like I could have did this on my own.
Yeah. All right, so every woman, every man is the respective queen and king of their kingdom, their body. We want the autonomy to make the decisions that we want to make. So what you're saying, OJ, is like, find an agent that is listening to you, that, you're going to ultimately orchestrate the portrait. This is your vision. This is your dream. What do you want? And be very specific and intentional about what it is that you want to see.
Yes.
It's the realtor's job to help guide you while you're painting this picture. And if they can't hear you when you say you want to be in a specific place, when you want to have a specific home, when you have a vision of renting and owning multiple properties down the line, if they can't guide you through what that looks like, starting with, okay, financially up front, this is what it is. Understanding the market, the infrastructure of the area that you're in, how that looks to appreciate over time. What the rental propensity looks like. Hampton Road should be a no-brainer for people. That we have incoming, outcoming traffic, especially being military dominant with all branches here. If they can't articulate how you're going to win, how they're going to help serve you so that you win, then you might want to question that. But you're right. We don't know. Well, we know. But on the other side of the table, that buyer, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And you got to move off some level of intuition, like, this is what I know I want. If that person's not helping you to draw that out, then they're probably not going to do things the way that you want it done.
But at the same token, it's just like, okay, I'm an E5. All right. I'm in Cali. I got orders to Virginia. Right. I can pick up the phone and call people in Virginia, like, hey, hey, realtors or whatever, right? But 9 times out of 10, they're going to go to USAA or they're going to go to Navy Fed, and they're going to enroll in that program to where you assign a realtor. And again, how do I know if I got the good realtor or the bad realtor?
Okay, and no knock. I'm going to hit this real quick.
No knock.
No. Look, there are splits associated with going through those channels.
Right.
And usually people who go through that, they're doing things at a discounted rate. So if you're looking at somebody who doesn't see value in what they're doing, that they take a discounted rate from a big company, they already don't know their own value and how they can present their own case to this big company. So if they don't know their own value to them, what value are they going to present to you? Those people, they have a tendency to just chase that check because they don't know how to go fish. They don't know how to convey their value to people. Hey, this is what I do. This is what my track record looks like. It's not about time in the industry. How many transactions have you done? What are people saying about you? What are these Google reviews? Hey, do you mind me interviewing somebody who went through business with you? Like, these are the questions that you can ask the realtor. Can you give me, your top people and I can talk to them if you don't have any idea of what the transaction is supposed to look like? These are some questions that you can ask your realtor up top.
Okay.
That's great.
But that's what I did. I it was just like, hey, okay, bank hooked me up. I knew that they was getting something with them, but at the same time, what's enticing is the rebate that I'm gonna get too. You know what I'm saying? From the financing company, they're gonna give me my little rebate and all that other stuff too. So it's just like
real estate is a long play. It always has been, it always will be, and it moves in oscillating cycles. It goes up and down, but the trend has been historically
going up.
Yeah, positive. So when you understand that, most people catch it at a specific time, a snapshot in history, and they're looking like, how can I benefit today? It's more so, okay, today looks like this, but what does 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 look like? Over that period of time, you could do a multitude of things to help keep that thing in alignment with its trajectory. Now, in this current market, we've seen things appreciate at a historically high rate. And now everybody's spoiled thinking like, oh, I'm 2-3 years and I'm about to get $100,000 in equity.
Right. Yep.
It don't move like that.
Right.
And so now people on a high horse and they're expecting that because my neighbor got this last year and I got that. No, we're folding back into that historical trend now. We're on the other side of the hill. It's not bad. They say the two best times about real estate, one was yesterday, the next best is today. Yeah. Now everybody's like, oh, looking at what happened yesterday and I wish I would have done this. Okay, I get it. We're on the other side of the hill. It may look bad right now, but the trend always shows this. Getting educated on what your area looks like. We're looking at national news and look at the real estate is a bad time. Hampton Roads is isolated.
Yes.
The infrastructure is different than most places around the country.
Right.
Yes.
We don't have the same market as everybody else. So it would behoove you to find one of these local experts and have that conversation. What does this look like? And no, we don't have a crystal ball, but trend analysis and just understanding what's going on. We see a lot of changes. Just look at when you're driving down the road, understand construction means something's coming.
Right.
We see so much construction here. We see roadways. You see companies coming here. You see so many different changes, different festivities coming in the area. It's like, what does this signify? And having somebody sit down and break that down to you so that you can see your vision come to life and make it make sense.
And real quick, to add to that point, when you talk about construction makes change, just look at the HRBT.
Right.
Look at the high-rise bridge. Now you got tolls. So many tolls. That means there's more cars.
Making money.
More cars out here, so that means more people coming here. Is there a difference in having an active duty or a veteran realtor over someone that never served? Especially in the Hampton Roads area.
Right.
I think there is a benefit, especially in this area, because veterans, we understand what it's like when you're PCSing. We have people that I had a client that bought a house. She was in California with her kids. So I understand the time difference. I understand when she's out to sea. I understand that she may not always have access to be able to come over here and sign papers in person, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think the benefit is we understand the process and what they're potentially going through, right? So you may have somebody, I had a guy in Germany and he was moving over here. So just me understanding that not that I don't put forth effort for everybody, but that he may need a little bit more time. It's a time difference for him, right? We were however many hours away. Plus, he has 3 kids, so he's worried about his schools. This is an area his wife has never been in before. So just me being here and knowing, number one, what he's going through on a level as him being active duty, or maybe he's transitioning out of the military, right? And then me having experience in that way, it's a double-edged sword in a good way, right? So I understand the realtor part, and then I also understand what it's like to be a service member, and that he may need a little bit more than somebody else. And you may not get that with an agent that never served before. They just don't understand that sometimes we just deal with different things. Right. And if you're not an active duty member, you never served in the military, on either spectrum, you may not get it.
And see, that's the part of like knowing what questions they should be asking you that they not, and you just gonna fill them in anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I know they gonna have this issue. You know, it can be something as simple as traffic. You know, like, hey, I know you're gonna be going to work around this time. This is, you know, traffic is good. Yeah,
and that's the thing.
Understand.
Like the client from Germany, he was getting stationed on Little Creek base.
Okay.
So I don't want to send him houses in Hampton unless he specifically is familiar with the area, because I know what that traffic looks like at 6 a.m. trying to come through the gate, right? So I know if he's on the Eisenhower, I know they're about to go to the shipyard. So then I'm gonna have that conversation. Okay, well, you're gonna be stationed in a shipyard for however many years. What do you think will fit your life better? Are you okay with going through a tunnel? Are you okay with the traffic trying to make it from Portsmouth to Chesapeake if you want to be in Great Bridge, right? A lot of people want to be in Great Bridge, or they want to be, you know, in Grassfield, right? Those tend to be the better school districts, right? So just knowing how to have that conversation based on my experience in the military is a benefit.
You hit everything.
That's it.
Man. I mean, you hit everything.
Wow.
You know, that's
That makes a difference, especially you coming to this area, and you thinking like, oh wow, I got relief today, not knowing, well, a carrier left. They went out today, so now the traffic is slow that morning. But eventually it builds back up. You're like, well, I left early, but now I'm stuck in traffic. But I live all the way out here in, what's that place out in North Carolina that's right outside of Chesapeake?
Elizabeth City or something?
Moya.
Yeah.
You know, so just think about some people, we got people that's active duty that live out there. You know, one guy we were stationed with, he lived in Elizabeth City. You know, and he was traveling all the way to Newport News. You know.
And you got to think about it. Even me dealing with, it's so many things, dealing with CDC. Like, what if your client is pregnant or has a small child? I know what the CDC, the time frames look like, right? So if you want to get in CDC, you may have a better chance of getting in CDC in Portsmouth versus Norfolk, because they tend to have a longer waiting list. So there's so many things, not only because I've had kids and I've dealt with it, right? But those are things that I think we may think about that maybe your civilian agent may not even think about it because they've never dealt with it before. Wow.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, because I actually went through that same thing, because, you know, me and my wife dual military. So, you know, she was out to sea. I'm holding down. I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I was working at firefighting school. So usually the daycare, the CDC don't even open that early. I had to be there at 4. So the crazy thing about it, I worked it out with, because, you know, I'm a people's person anyway. So I worked it out with the people. And they let my kids come in that early before anybody else came in. You know what I'm saying? Just that connection I might have had with somebody can help them up and make sure, hey, look, man, we're going to talk to these people over here. Maybe you can get in too. In this case, they was transferred to that same spot. You know what I'm saying? Just that connection, just knowing how to work. Because like I said, dual military, single, whatever, I kind of know how that works. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gone, somebody at home, you scared. Hey, man, I went through that same thing, man. I understand how you feeling right now. You're scared for your family because they are all alone, because they left early because you need to do some stuff over here. They came over here trying to get the place. You wait over there. You still signing paperwork. Look, man, I kind of been through that, man. I can show you everything I had did. So now they're like, oh, man, OJ, thank you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I really, you know, you can feel the pressure coming off, because I'm going to give you that thing. You're going to be like, oh, man, OJ, I feel it coming off my chest. And if they need something, I make sure I take a snapshot of this. You're going to see the whole process. Okay, you gave her the power of attorney. But guess what? You getting that same paperwork too, because we're going to make sure you're reading. I know you on a time schedule that you can't get to it all the time, but once you get to it, I want you to read it. If you got any questions, get back to me. So once they get that stuff, they like, man, I really appreciate that. When they get over there, they just hug me. They, you know what I'm saying, grown man hugging me. Right.
Man, it makes a difference, man, when your family comfortable. Especially when you come into a new area. And you about to go on deployment. They already left on deployment, and you only got 2 weeks to get there. But the whole family coming. To a new area. Hampton Roads is busy.
And the crazy thing about it, some of the people I dealt with, like I said, I might have hadn't served with them, but we're like lifelong friends now. You know what I'm saying? I might have sold them a house. We ain't never served together. They was just in the military, and we're email, text. Hey OJ, what's going? Hey man, I'm over with my kids. You know, they playing sports now. You come check them out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. So that's when you know you made an impact on somebody because they really trust you. They like, hey, I'm gonna ask you inviting you over, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's this how you kind of deal with it. Like I said, I deal with a lot of. I kind of go with passion. You know what I'm saying? And I think I learned it through the military. I come in with passion. They're gonna know that, man, I might give you my last dollar. We're gonna get this deal done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I didn't have to work it like that. And I had to give a last dollar. Say, hey, look, let's make it happen, man. Because at the end of the day, I know the feeling. You're gonna be like, man. And I don't care about getting it back on the back end. Everybody, even though I know how God works, and that's who I serve. So I know how it's gonna come back. But that's not in my head why I'm doing that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's dope.
Yeah.
So there's a question for each one of y'all. Like, what made y'all want to get into real estate and doing what you do right now anyway? You know, I mean, everybody been active duty, but why choose that profession?
I answered that question. It's mine gonna be quick. So I bought my first house. My first house, I bought it back in 2004. And the real estate agent, she was so good, man. She just like, I'm like, man, you made this process so smooth. How can I be an agent? You know what I'm saying? I asked you the question. She said, well, OJ, you can go through Long and Foster, where they had a school at Long and Foster, and I was active duty. So Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 10, I went. So that was the one thing. I saw how she did it. I saw how she took care of me. I said, man, I think I want to do the same thing because I want this process to go easy. And people don't realize they can own a home. I didn't realize because I had to get 2 loans when I got my house. You know what I'm saying? I had an 80-10, 80-10-10, 80-10-15. People that I went with countrywide. So she brought me and said, look, OJ, your debt to income is not good right now. You're gonna have to do a simple thing. Now you can refinance later on. So when I refinanced, long story short, I got like a year left and I'm going to pay my house off. You know what I'm saying? I went to a 15-year mortgage with a 2.5 interest rate and I'm about to pay my house off. So that little thing what she told me kind of inspired me. So that's why
giving back.
Just giving back. Yeah, I love giving back too.
What pay grade were you when you put your first house?
E5. E5, yes,
okay.
E5, yeah. So about to own one now. That's creating that generational wealth because I want to give that to the kids. Yeah, I could have sold it and make $400,000 or $500,000, but I want to give it to my kids and they can work it out how they want to work it out. I'm gonna give them the blueprint on how to do it, and don't just sell this thing. Let's get some money first. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what now I'm on my next one. Then hopefully get another one.
Right.
So
Jade?
Yeah. So I bought my house as well when I was at E5. Single mom, just me and my daughter. And I just got really interested in it. My first realtor, I don't know why I've never used the same realtor twice, but my first, I don't know. My first realtor, he was really good. And it was just me. And I was worried about being in a safe area. I was single.
Right.
My daughter was 4 at the time, and I just really liked how he navigated me through the process. Right. Yeah. And then I've also had an agent that wasn't so great. And it was like, I felt like I started to catch mistakes, and it kind of got me interested because it's like, okay, well, if the wrong, closing date is on a contract, or if it says 30 days, or I was just finding things that were wrong, and I would have to talk to him like, hey, this should say this, right? It just got me more interested. And I also kind of felt like there are a lot, and I think it's just a military thing, there are a lot of single people buying houses. I thought about when I bought my first one, and it was me, just me by myself, and I'm trying to figure it out on my own, right? So I was like, there are going to be other people, like me, and I'm thinking about junior sailors maybe that I work with and things like that. So I was like, man, I want to get into this just so I can know how to educate people. How can you educate the ABH2 that I was, right? Just to kind of make it more beneficial for people, like me at one point. So
because it do seem like it's moving in that direction. Like a lot of younger sailors, like when we was coming up, it was apartments, and now it's like they coming in like, I need a house. You know what I'm saying? So,
I had a client. She's not military, but she's 21, and she bought a duplex.
Wow.
21 years old, and it was insane to me. And I got really close with her and her parents, and I talked to her parents, and I was like, oh my gosh, like how did y'all get her to be this forward thinking and this smart at the age of 21? And she bought the duplex a few months ago. It already had renters on one side. She moved to the other side. She went into the house with equity. It was crazy, and she was so focused. Right. And she had lived with her parents, and she saved up all her money. And we were at the house doing a walkthrough before closing, and she was like, let me check my bank account, make sure. And she paid for her own closing. She paid for her own down payment, and it was just I really loved it. And I just remember looking at her like I was a proud mom. I was like, I'm so weak. She was just sitting in class from the closing table, and I was like, I cannot believe you did this at 21, no kids. And she was like, Jade, when I first met her, she was like, do not show me anything if it's not multifamily. Like, it only makes sense. She was so focused on what she wanted, and I still think about her. And that's what she said. I only want to buy a multifamily unit. That was the only thing she was interested in. And she talked about what wealth building looked like, right? At the age of 21. And that was crazy to me. And it kind of just added to why I love doing this job. Not only because I'm a people person, because you meet people like that. And I was like, dang, like if only I could have done that at the age of 21, where would I be now?
Yeah,
you know,
we always say that.
For sure.
I guarantee you don't know what you don't know. 41,000 though.
I'm sure she
would not
would.
be asking for no 41,000.
I'm sure she would.
But we all were like that.
Yes.
You know, it's just what we didn't know.
Yeah.
But now, social media, and you got to answer the question just like them too. But social media has really helped us in a major way. It's bad to it,
For sure.
but it's a lot of good to it because you can educate.
It pushes.
I've been talking to these cats. Yes, it does. I've been talking to these cats this year so many times. I mean, my phone, you look at my phone records, you know, it's questions. You know, you two, and I got another guy down in Florida. I just want to know, you know. And guess what? I asked them all the questions, but I still can go to YouTube and listen to someone else just to get their opinion. But I'm really valuing what they saying. So going back to what y'all said earlier, y'all pretty much saying the same thing. You know, if I ask you something, I can go ask him, but you're going to pretty much telling me the same thing. You know, it's just my education.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I believe in building teams doing the right thing, you know, for me. You know, I like to have the right people on my team for me to be successful.
Yeah.
You know? So go ahead. Why'd you get into the game?
Oh, man. OJ, you know me too well.
I know.
Nah, it coincides with purpose, man. Like, we servants. And we do it like you can feel people in it. You know what a servant spirit looks like, feels like. We service members. That's on our resume. Like, just being a part of a team, helping people to build, be better. It's all in. It coincides with my purpose. So I jumped in. It started out as a game. I didn't know that initially. Watching HGTV, that was popping. This like 2016.
Yeah.
My cousin was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my contractor's license." I said, "If you do that, I'm gonna go get my real estate license."
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, okay. Once he did that, I'm like, oh, it's on. We started doing flips, and at the time, it's just I'm playing a game. But as I started getting into it, his vision was, okay, we're from downtown Newport News. He's very passionate about helping people. Like, if you think I'm that guy, like, you got to meet David.
Okay.
He really that
David
guy.
Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really that guy. And so his mindset is, okay, I'm gonna revitalize these houses and I'm gonna make them affordable. I'm gonna make them nice and make them affordable for people. So now we start playing matchmaker with people, flipping houses and getting people in there. And then the more I'm working, the more I'm learning. Like, I started hitting levels where I felt like I hit a dollar amount where I'm cool. I don't have 168 billion, but like,
You okay?
I'm okay. I'm good. You know what I mean? And so I lost like some steam, and I had another Navy chief, Nick Hughes, shout out. Nick Hughes, he's like, why are you stopping here? Why are you stopping at this level? And I was like, bro, because I don't need no extra money. I'm straight. My family's straight. I'm doing it. And he's just like, yo, your purpose bigger than that. Your purpose bigger. You got to generate capital so that you can fulfill that purpose. And so I didn't see it as such. But then I started stepping out and getting outside of just my wheelhouse of people and started to meet and lock arms with other people. It's how we talk. Like, I came in, I met you. I'm 23 years old, young Instant Diggs, not talking, just fly on the wall, hiding out. And people just like, what this kid, what's this mystique about? He's not talking, he just out the way. And it's just, I was okay with being that because my world was okay. But then, you know, when you on purpose, you gotta fulfill that.
And was you already in real estate at this time, or this
back
was
then?
Like later? Yeah.
Oh, real estate didn't come until about 2016, 2015.
Okay. Gotcha.
That was 2007.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I've always been about community and building stuff. But once this opportunity was presented, I didn't know that I could do the things that I'm able to do now. So since being in this, it allowed me to put together community events. It gave me the latitude, the time to afford to nonprofit organizations, to coaching, to doing shoe drives, to doing turkey drives. It's like different things that I wanted to do to help inspire people. And while I was doing all of this giving, I had to start learning. And I think this goes back to the origins of our conversation. Like, what does receiving feel like? And we push out so much that we don't even know how to receive anything. It makes it feel like it's a negative. But what I understood is, you have a good client and now they're giving you this praise and you're just like, oh no, it's cool. No, you did all it. You got to just stop and say, I received that.
Yeah. It's hard for us though.
Yeah.
But look at it like this. And this is how I had to take it in. The feelings that we get when we give, it's fulfilling because, hey man, I know I wasn't able to do this at one point in time. And now I'm able to give this blessing on. It makes you feel good. Yeah. Now there are a lot of people who look at us as these people on these pinnacles, right? And they don't feel like there's nothing that they could do for us to reciprocate what we give to them. And so we denied them the opportunity to get that feeling when they try to present us with something and we say, nah,
I'm good, man.
We blocking blessings because they want to bless us. You know what? I received that and started learning like it's okay for us to take stuff too. It's okay for us to get that.
Somebody kind of put that in my head like years ago. Like, sometimes it's okay to say thank you. I appreciate it. And just let it be. In your mind, you could want to be like, no, that's okay. Just thank you.
I received that.
Just appreciate it.
Even like a couple of weeks ago, I'm at the Eagles game, and my brother-in-law, he gives me tickets every year. But he don't ever want nothing back, so I got to try to think of things like this. This to say thank you, But I took my best friend that we grew up together since 6 years old. So I took him to the game. He said, "Hey man, I'm sending you something in the mail." I wanted to tell him no, don't do it, but I had to realize like that's what he wants to do. So I have to accept it, And it was like I didn't want it, but I had to learn to accept. That was his way of saying thank you. Thank you for that opportunity. And it's hard for us sometimes, but you got to just be able.
We got to do that. We got to learn how to. As much as we want to give out, learn how to take it in.
Take it in. So Juice.
Yes.
I'm looking at buying a home. Don't know which way I want to go. Do I go VA loan? Conventional or FHA? What's the difference between the three?
So, you got no down payment loans that you can do, which was VA, and USDA is no down payment. So you have to pay some kind of fees in there. But for VA, you still got to pay your closing cost, or the seller can pay the closing costs. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to pay no mortgage insurance on the VA. You know what I'm saying? So FHA, you got to pay that mortgage insurance. It's a 1.75 up front. Then you have to pay a little bit, maybe like $100 or something each month is going to be added into the loan. You know what I'm saying? So you'll pay 3.5 down, and then that can come from the seller. That can come from gifts. They can come from grants, VHD, all the homeowners grants. There's a lot of stuff out there. You got to get with a lender and make sure they offer that. Ask around. You can look through your city and stuff like they're offering a lot of grants like that. So it's a lot of stuff. So VA, not a lot of people like, oh man, I got VA, I'm good. But you can still get you can get down payment. Not down. You can get closing cost assistance on that too. Okay. It's programs for that too. So yeah. Now conventional, usually they want you to have a higher credit score on a conventional loan. I tell people if you got like a 760, you in the higher tier. You know what I'm saying? Now, so you're gonna still pay a down payment for the conventional loan also 3%. That's the lowest 3 to 5%. You don't that myth about 20%. You don't have to put 20% down. You can put 3% down. Like the FHA, you're gonna put 3.5% down. So actually, conventional is actually even better if you got the funds, if you got the income, you got the debt to income ratio. You know what I'm saying? Then if you're working with somebody that knows these programs. So I wouldn't put you like say if I just say I was a lender, if I know you got a VA loan, I'm probably gonna go with that one because that's gonna probably be a better out of the pocket for you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then especially if I got some assistance coming from the seller or some gift somewhere, if then they looking at your whole income picture. You know what I'm saying? They say, okay, hey man, Ty, OJ, you got enough, you can do that. Now it's a VA funding fee also. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
that's what I didn't know, to cut you off. But
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
bought my first house, it was just like I didn't know that the seller, because you're speaking of programs,
Yeah.
like certain people who sell their properties, like, nah, we ain't doing VA loans over
Yeah.
here,
Some
and all
of-
this, that, and the third. Like, they get to pick and choose which programs that they will sell to, because you have to, if you get a VA loan, like, you gotta buy into, you gotta, kind of give some money to that. Or,
You don't have to get anything.
You know what I mean? Like the seller.
Your seller don't have to give anything. I mean, you can go. The seller don't have to. You can pay your own closing costs as a
Right.
VA guy. But sometimes the criteria and stuff, the appraisal come
Yeah.
in. When the appraisal come in, he might be looking at it as something a little harder, like peeling paint.
Right,
You got
right.
rails. You got to make sure you have the rails on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they see something hanging off the side of the house, they're going to probably. If they see the roof is messed up, so conventional loan is a little lenient. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
FHA, you still gonna have to go through some of that same process because they're government backed loans. So
Right.
if I default on the loan, the government saying I'm taking the percentage of that loan. You know what I'm saying? That's why FHA, they charge you that insurance. It's not just for the fun of it. They charge because look, we getting this loan at this rate and we having it backed by the government. You know what I'm saying? So VA, if you have a VA loan, so back to the VA funding fee. So say if I had a disability, so I don't have to pay the funding fee. You understand what I'm saying? And the property tax and stuff. It depends on what your level of disability. If you're 100%, you don't have to pay the property taxes and stuff like that. So you need to have an agent that can tell you all this stuff out front. Now, I'm not the lender now, but you got to make sure. I always get my client's loan estimate, a closing estimate. I want to see that loan. And some of them might not want to show me, but most of the time I say, look, send that thing to me because I want to see what are they charging. Are they charging some crazy stuff? Or are they charging origination fee, underwriting fee? Are they charging for the points for that rate? I want to know. They say, OJ, I can give you a 4.5, but are they charging me percentage points for this rate?
Just to that 4.5.
Yeah, you just saying, oh yeah, it's because I'll be happy when they say, hey, 4.5. I'm so happy, like, oh, he gave me a 4.5. But no, let me see that. Let me see now. They be like, well, who told you that? No, I don't even. You ain't got to tell them.
So basically, not saying that they crooked, but not saying that.
Not saying that, but
not saying
saying
that. They'll have that talk.
Yeah.
But if you're not paying attention, you can look over that and
Yes.
see like, oh wow, you charged me for that 4.5%.
Yes, yes, you gonna charge it, and then you get the closing table. You like, man, I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? Because they usually send you the closing disclosure maybe 3 or 4 days prior, and you got to look over.
And
like,
after you done read all these documents days before, weeks before,
Yes.
now you're gonna look at this last document and be like, yeah, I see it, and keep it moving.
Yeah, and that goes back to show about the realtor too. You know what I'm saying? The realtor had these fees in there. You say, hey man, I thought you said you was charging me 2% instead of 5%. Now you see that 15,000 instead of 5,000. You like, hold up, man, did I sign that? Yeah, that's the first couple of paperwork that you signed when we first started. You ain't thinking about that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because now the relative fees are off the MLS. You don't even see them no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's that first initial buyer broker agreement. And then your listing agreement. What are you telling them right there? It's a couple blocks in there. I want to make sure that you understand, that you read. If you don't read them, you might be in trouble, because now at the end of the day, you say, OJ, I thought, even though I'm probably going to give you a discount anyway, you know what I'm saying, off the top, and then we negotiate the other fee, you know what I'm saying, we negotiate up and down, however we want to do it. But most of the time, I'm telling my buyers that I'm trying to get the seller to pay for it, you know what I'm saying, because I already know, I'm saying, I want to give you that sense. But sometimes it might boil down that the buyer might have to pay somebody the deal. But my first thing is trying to get that seller to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like I said, conventional, higher credit score, high debt to income. You know what I'm saying? You can come in there as long as your income and stuff is good. VA, you don't have to pay no down payment, no insurance. You pay, you get the seller to pay the closing cost. FHA said you got to come in with a 3.5. You're gonna pay some insurance, some mortgage insurance. I mean, that's basically it. If you know that, if you can come in and understand that, them couple of things, let you know that you're gonna be on the hook for closing costs on most of the loans, unless you get somebody to pay for it for you. Nobody can never tell you, hey, you ain't gonna have to pay no closing costs. If they add it into it, your interest rate's gonna go up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna add closing costs or something to it. That means he said, oh, I got free closing costs. No, it's not. It's never nothing free. And you can ask for lender credits too. The lenders can give you credits too. They ain't gonna just put it out there unless you got a lender like, hey man, I can kind of help you out on this. I got something I can give you. You know what I'm saying? So you need to let them understand that, because most people ain't asking that question. So
and one thing that you said, AP, that I just thought about, just because you, like for me, one of the houses I bought, I am a veteran, right? So I qualify for a VA loan, but the home doesn't take VA loans.
Yeah, see, that's what
I
mean.
did not
Yeah.
know that
Hold on.
until
that's what I was talking about.
I bought a condo in Virginia
You
Beach.
talking about condos, yeah.
Yeah,
Condo, yeah.
and they didn't accept a VA loan.
Yes.
My agent didn't tell me that in the beginning until we put in the offer, and then the seller's agent came back and was like, "Oh, this condo association, they don't
Yes,
accept
that's right.
VA loans."
That's correct.
So it was, how badly do you want this house?
Yeah.
Do you want the house bad enough to go get a conventional loan?
Yeah.
So now I had to put down a down payment because I couldn't use my VA loan. So that was something that I didn't know
That's
Yeah.
right.
until recent, that some places don't.
Condo
It's mostly
association,
condos. They don't always accept VA loans.
Or
And just because
FHA.
I'm military, so they can have those
FHA, you're right.
those rules that it's important for your agent to know before you even put in an offer.
Yes.
Hey, you're not going to be able to use your VA loan. So do you want the house badly enough to qualify for a conventional? Do you have enough money to put down a down
That's
payment?
right.
Because now you're going to have to, right? Or do you just want to go somewhere else? So that was a conversation that I never had until I bought this house a few years ago.
Because in me, ABH2, I was the same way. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, it was a couple of properties, and the guy was just like, well, if that's what you want, you can't use your VA. And I'm thinking, like, I can use VA for everything.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
Just
thinking.
like, no.
Yeah, but you can't. But you actually,
Exactly.
as the client customer, you can actually look that up yourself. You know that, right?
Right.
You can go on there and type
That's
it
what I
in.
started doing.
Yeah, you can look it up. And now your agent actually supposed to do that. I'm glad you brought that up. So your agent actually supposed to do that before you even
agent.
put.
I had a bad
Yeah,
one.
they're supposed to go on there and say, I'm in a condo association. You know what I'm saying? So I need to go on there and make sure they take VA. They're gonna have it. They're gonna have that association name or whatever up there. They're gonna say, no, we're at the limit. We ain't taking no more. Or now the other thing you can do, you can ask for an exemption from the association. A lot of people don't know that. You can actually ask them, say, look, we want to still try to get in here. So they have to type some stuff up. The lender, they can do it. They can send it. They can send it in, and they can exempt that, and they can actually get that VA loan in there if they'll let you do it.
Yeah.
So once some people see it, they say, I ain't trying for it. But it's a way you can still get in there with that VA loan. But it entails a little bit of work though.
Like
you know
you
what I'm saying?
said earlier, the VA process is a little bit more difficult than others, and so they don't
Right.
want to deal with those type of
Right.
inspections and all
Right.
that. So
Right.
it's
That's-
like,
that's what Brandon told me this year. He
so we
said-
ain't dealing with the VA.
That VA appraiser, like,
He
they go deep.
He'll dig a little deeper.
They go deep.
Yeah.
He said that's the ones you want.
Yeah.
They go
We
deep.
do, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
But
he
you know,
got it.
the home inspection is not required. Just let you know that you don't have to do a home inspection.
Right.
But you getting a VA loan, if that money come out of that VA, if they bagging it, they coming to that with that appraisal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you don't have to do a home.
check.
So don't. I got to do a home inspection. No, you don't have to do something. But I always advise to do a home inspection.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna let.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Diz, you got anything to add?
No, y'all hit it. That was y'all hit that all of the loans. I
Okay.
think, yeah,
So real quick,
we beat
last
that.
thing, last one. What have you done in the past that you struggle with, but now you good with today? Or is there anything?
One quick follow up. That's it. That's the same following up. And I follow up. I follow up all the time.
Okay.
Now I'm always following up. I'm gonna make sure that you're good to go.
Right.
So
right.
that's
right,
it.
right.
Follow up to past clients.
Okay.
I think for me, I just assumed that. I think in the beginning, I thought that all closings kind of would go the same way, and then I realized that no two loans are the same.
Okay.
That was a tough lesson for me. I was just like, okay, well, I had a closing and this one went well, and I assumed maybe that the other one would go well, and then I realized that you will never have two transactions that will be exactly the same. You never know what might come up in one deal that you may have not dealt with before. So it caused me to be a little bit more thorough now and just make sure I'm asking the right questions that maybe I didn't before.
Ready for everything.
For
now.
sure.
That's what's up. Oh, shoot, you say value. I don't know. So yeah, value. I would just say, being that our gifts, we moving our gifts with ease, so much ease, and you don't know how difficult it is for somebody else to do the same things that you do. So I kind of like stopped discounting my abilities. Initially, I was always kind of like, oh, it's easy, so everybody should be able to do it, projecting me onto other people. And now just learning like, nah, I'm walking in, I'm an expert. This is what I do. I'm owning my stuff. I do it a lot better now than what I did then.